Dear students, it is the third video for week 12 and we are learning technical and scientific report writing. In the second video, I explained in brief the introduction, study abstract, introduction, and the problem statement in detail. Now we proceed to the third major portion, body. The body of a technical report primarily means the development. Clear? At this stage, the writer explains all the details, cause and effects and tools and technologies and procedures and formulas and much more in the body. A body actually is the 80% of the total report. Clear? In normal cases, I've explained that mechanisms and processes, procedures are actually included in the body of the technical report. For example, student design project. Clear? So the body starts with the background information, literature review, then requirement elicitation includes the functional requirements, non-functional requirements, okay, like the DFDs and ERDs, plus the discussion about data and other. Chapter number 4, in which we express about the tools, technology, main modules, steps, designing, layout, okay, and the guidelines for the user. This, if you count, makes the entire portion of the report. Rather, this introduction, for example, outlines, abstract, okay, they are the additional parts, whereas the part 3 includes the conclusions, references, appendixes, annexes. Clear? So, body of the report actually is the development, and this is the major section, and here includes all the technicalities and much more. Let's read. The body of a technical report is structured according to the needs of your reader and the nature of the project. That the writer decides how to explain it, what should be told, explained in what length and in what sequence. And every report is different. For example, a pure scientific report start different, a financial report different, a medical report different, a bio report different. Fine. So every report varies according to the nature of the subject and the audience. The writer decides how to structure it and what to include. Clear? All is dependent on the writer. Okay, if you are writing, your development phases, we have to, what does the reader need to know first? For example, I'm comparing it with a scientific report like the final project report, that in the chapter number 2, we tell the reader about the development of the application, that what others, before this development, what people have already worked on this application, what features were there. Clear? So chapter number 2, overview, and the literature review normally is the section of the body. What is the most logical way to develop the story of the project? Clear? Like in chapter number 3, we express every information have to be put in a logical sequence. Clear? That what should be told first and then and then and then and then. So body of the report is very important. The students, we can learn how to write body of the report better if you recall the first two chapters, the chapters like description of the mechanisms and description of the process. Clear? Here is a guideline. Look at other technical reports in your discipline to see what they have included and in what order. So, the logical tip for the student is that when they are developing reports, it is much better to review the reports of the seniors or the experts in that field and copy them, find out their fashion and apply it so that you may be in a better position to develop a report. The body of the report. Dear students, it is very important. Now we move to next thing. A technical, scientific, or even the business report do include figures, tables, formulas. Clear? Technical reports include a mixture of text, tables, figures, and formulas. Clear? That there is no report more consolidated and expressive if it lacks text, tables, figures, and formulas. Remember, students, science, technology, engineering, statistics, math can and is better taught through simulations, through diagrams and illustrations. Simple, descriptive in words and signs is not enough. Therefore, a technical report do contain these things. Point 2, consider how you can present the information best for your reader. The objective is that when you are, the main purpose of including all this is that to achieve the maximum comprehension. Students, experts may understand it. Okay? Just like list of figures. Clear, whatever, for example, computer sciences, the and everywhere, when you, for example, you are learning electronics about the circuits, and if the circuit is properly drawn and is labeled, clear, it is more helpful for the students to understand the function rather than our teacher is orally elaborating the circuits and writing definitions on the board, and you won't practically understand anything. Clear? In precise, figures and tables are an intrinsic part, important part, significant part of the technical and business report writing. So consider the following things: that figures and tables should be numbered. Clear? Be referred in the text, that when you are explained in the text, for example, when a figure, table, diagram is written, we have to describe in words. That is called diagram illustration. उसको हम लोग जो है उस डायग्राम को, उस फिगर को, उसका एक छोटा सा ब्रीफ लिखते हैं, that the figure number 1 in table number 1 explains the information pertains to the layout or whatever. Clear? So we have to explain that. Include a simple descriptive level above a table and below a figure. That you should give simple descriptive level, that if you are using a table, then above the table, that place the table, and above give the illustration, whereas in the figure you have to explain below. Equations and formulas should be numbered and explained. Clear? Like referred into the text, for example, see equation 1-4. Clear? Formulas should be centered on the page. Clear? And every line of the equation on a separate line. कि जब आप फार्मूला लिखें तो उसको बयान करें पेज के जमीन they should be centered line, okay, and they should be on the separate line. And if you are using any other language, कि आप इंग्लिश में रिपोर्ट लिख रहे हैं and a word exists, a word occur in Latin or Greece, clear, Greek language, then you have to italicize it. Next portion is conclusions. Conclusion is the end of the report. Conclusion means the sentences, paragraphs, where you close your discussion actually is called your conclusion. Clear? The strong conclusion is the conclusion which matches with the problem statement or hypothesis. कि जो बेहतरीन conclusion होता है वो हमेशा हमारी जो problem statement होती है या hypothesis होता है उसके साथ match करता है. Number one, in conclusion, we express the issue in a very precise manner and we claim the very important outcome in that. There are so many guidelines for writing conclusions, but I'm just sharing some points. Your conclusion should mirror your introduction. That whatever you have explained in the beginning and in your hypothesis, your conclusion must reflect those things. That it should not be otherwise. Otherwise mean that it should not be contradictory in a sense. That you are saying something different in your introduction, you are claiming something different in your hypothesis and problem statement, whereas you are saying something entirely out of the way in the end of the report. So they should be aligned. Be sure to refer to your aims. Clear whatever you aimed in your problem and scope. You have to summarize your key findings. क्या भाई दूसरी चीज ये है कि आपने जो कुछ रिसर्च किया है उसके की पॉइंट्स को अपने लफ्जों में लिखें. State your major outcomes and highlight their significance. कि आप अपने जो कुछ आपने रिसर्च किया है, जो आपने डेवलप किया है, उसको जो है वो क्लियरली स्टेट करें, बट बी श्योर दैट द कंक्लूजन्स आर इन अ लिमिटेड फॉर्म. ऐसे ना हो कि आप इतना बड़ा कंक्लूजन दे दें कि रिपोर्ट भी उतरी ना हो. क्लियर? दैट शुड बी वेरी important, be in the mind. Recommendations. Next thing is students, recommendations. If your technical report includes recommendations for action, you could choose to report these as bullet lists. For example, some person has written a report about how to be saved in the current virus in the winter. People are now falling rapidly ill due to the viral infection, cough and extreme fever and cramps and much more. Clear? For example, some experts have investigated and now his report is a recommendation, suggestion. Okay, number one, that the people must take care of their health and follow the following points. Drink cold water and avoid the oily and over baked things. Cover your, so these points should be in the bullet. Number two, cover your head and feet properly while walking out in the evenings. Avoid drinking cold water. Use boiled vegetables with boiled meat. Fine. So all these things should be in the bullets. Your recommendations can be presented in two ways. Action statement. Action statement that it is written in action words. Clear? For example, type approval should be issued for the tunnel ventilation fans. Type approval should be issued for the, it is imperative by jumla hi hukam se type, wear just like wear the warm clothes. Clear? Stay at home. Take two two uh, teaspoons of sugar daily. So means sentence starts with instruction. Conditional statements. That sometimes the recommendations are hypothetical. Conditional. If fan blades are painted with an anti-corrosion coating system, it is likely that this is if fan blades, for example, that often the fans get different kind of substances. So if fan blades are painted with anti-corrosion coating system, this is a technique to painting the fan and to prevent from the lesions and others. So it is written in conditional mode. Another, the researchers has found that the fan hub should be constructed from a forged steel and the fan housing should be constructed from the hot dipped galvanized steel. But future research, there are two research have been compared, the point of view of one expert and the point of view of the other experts. Clear? So these are the ways to put recommendations. And the students, finally, references. References mean to validate that whatever you have included and said in your report is logical and you yourself has gone through all that material. Clear? And whatever you are saying is not baseless. We need references. Clear? The books and reports and models and modules and websites and whatever you have used, जहां से आपने पढ़ा, जहां से आपने डाटा लिया, जिस बात को आप अपनी बात की बुनियाद बना रहे हैं, that should all be referred. Otherwise, if we do not say it or if the references do not support our discussion, the discussion will be assessed as forged, as प्लेजराइज्ड. तो फिर हमारी जो भी हम कहेंगे वो ऐसे ही होगा जैसे हम झूठ बोल रहे हैं, हमने किसी की चुराई हुई बात को लिखा है. Acknowledge all the information and ideas you have incorporated from other sources into your paper using a consistent referencing style. This includes data, tables, figures, information, and much more. Dear students, referencing itself is a very technical way. Fine. It includes in the table of content, I will also explain that we have for the research writing, we need to make a specific research points, decide our reading content, clear, prepare the notes, clear, and then follow a certain note and referencing style. For example, if you are using MLA, IEEE and all that. But the main thing is how to read and take notes. That we make 6x6 cards, clear, and then according to the outline we read and write the references number, book, and their call numbers and all that. And references are one of the very important portion of a technical report. Appendixes, it is called glossary or the list of definitions. Clear often the why appendixes are written. For to understand it, you should learn about explore the definitions. Definitions that when in scientific report, especially new words and concepts are expressed applying the range of vocabulary. Sometimes our student or expert is familiar with the words and sometimes not. Therefore, to achieve the consensus, to achieve the similar understanding between reader and the writer, definitions are written. But these definitions often are framed in a specific section, that in which the word is written, page number, and the definition is written. This is called appendixes, and it is fixed with sometime in the beginning of the report, and some reporting style they are in the end of the report. If you have data that is too detailed or lengthy to include in the report itself, include the appendixes. That if you have too much details and data which is not likely to be the part of the report or it can create a confusion, then attach it separately. Your reader can then choose to refer to it if they are interested. I mean, it is discretionary that if the reader has not understood and he needs to further investigate, he can refer to the appendixes. Label your appendixes with a number or a letter, a title, and refer it to the text. For example, for a full list of construction phases, see appendixes A. मीन जब हम कोई बात करना चाहते हैं किसी खास आइडिया को एक्सप्रेस करने के लिए, तो हम पैरेंथेसिस में रेफर कर देते हैं. So this is appendixes is one of the very major portion of the technical report. The students move to some of the other points. I think it should be expressed in the separate report. Thank you very much.